Life without music for me would just be unimaginable because it plays such a big role in my life.
I think life would be very boring without music.
If I didn't have music, my life would be so much more dreary.
If there were more music, more of the time for more people in their lives, day to day, the world would be a much better place.
I cannot imagine life without music.
Since 1964, Powers has brought the joy of music to students young and old, beginner and amateur, from Belmont and across the country. Our early childhood classes, private lessons, ensembles, orchestra, community outreach, performances, and festivals spread that joy to more than 5,000 people each year. But the true heart of our programs is the community, the confidence, and the connections our students, teachers, and audiences build together.
I think the best thing about Powers is really this sense that it's a really organic structure where the administration feels free to respond to what they feel is needed in the community.
I think more important than piano lessons, as important as they are, or violin lessons, more important than that is just the connection between teachers and students and people in the community that makes a community music school different than any other kind of learning environment.
It's really that sense of community that I'm a part of something bigger and so are they.
At Powers, we share a few common principles. Music helps us on our journey of learning and growing. Music touches other areas of our lives. Music is essential and everyone should have access to it. Sharing this joy of music brings us together.
My recollection is pretty cloudy when it comes to the very early beginnings of the Powers Music School, but I'm quite sure that my mother and her friends, who were other musicians in town whom she got to know pretty early on, felt that there was a real lack of music in the schools that they felt they could do something about by offering an outlet for people. And they first started out with the Piano Festival, and I remember playing in the Piano Festival when I was very little, which I believe was in the library. Then they got a little more excited about doing more and offering lessons and such. And she and her friends, Margie Dusenberry, I think Elfrieda Hebert, Sandy Rosenblum, and of course Ellen Powers, decided that they would like to do something, and it took off from there.
Veda was someone in my life, even though I met with her only like once a week for a few hours, that was the best thing for me really growing up, because she really pushed me to become better.
So I've had the same piano teacher for a long time. I've had her for 8 years, and it's absolutely been a positive experience. Her name is Natasha Rist, and one of the most striking things about her is that she clearly adores her job. She clearly loves what she does. You know, she doesn't do it just because, you know, she's got an hour to fill and she needs to do that. She really loves doing it. She'll take extra time to go and put fingerings on things and provide that and come up with alternate ways of playing things. And she'll call us in just extra time and make sure that I'm practicing the right things, give me advice for different ways of practicing to get the performances right. Things like that. She really, really loves what she does, and it really comes through. And her enthusiasm is infectious.
Our mission is really, I want to say, simply about creating a lifelong appreciation of music.
Well, the thing that's so amazing about teaching is that you develop a human being. I mean, you really can change their lives.
Music can play a very important part in math education, science education, as far as learning how to study, how to build self-confidence in them, as far as when they're performing and practicing, gaining self-esteem as they start with knowing almost nothing to being accomplished at what they're doing.
I see that it really is such a great skill for them to have music in their background, and it really complements their overall well-being, and it makes them more rounded as an individual. It's just great.
I remember my mother saying about one of her students when she went on to decide to become a doctor, that anybody who played an instrument could do well at anything because they had learned discipline. And I totally agree with that because you learn how to solve problems.
Music definitely helps many aspects of life, particularly in the discipline that's required, the focusing, the creativity to be able to think of solutions that are not written down anywhere in a manual. And I think it also helps everybody with poise and being able to speak to a camera or to an audience.
Learning music definitely helps me with other things in life. It's helped me in school, it's boosted my confidence, it's increased my perseverance.
It's a very multi-purpose door that I think not only helps you connect as a child, but because music is about preparing something and delivering something in front of a group, it's the most critical skill adults have. To be able to get up in front of a group and not feel uncomfortable, to be able to complete something, to be able to get something right, because there's no place to hide when you're performing.
I can't imagine another activity, hobby, passion that, as I said, that makes you as sensitive and as aware as music does. Music gets to a part of your being that is hard to tap into otherwise. And so I feel like I've unlocked a part of myself that otherwise I wouldn't have discovered.
In my opinion, the best thing about Powers is the friendly, supportive atmosphere. It's not this competitive, cutthroat, competition-oriented scheme where you're just doing lessons so that you can win some competition somewhere for your piano teacher. It genuinely is about development as a musical person. It genuinely is about developing your technical skills too. And there's a really supportive community.
I do feel connected to other students at Powers. Some of them I've known in other music groups, some I've known for a long time.
The best thing about Powers Music School is just the environment. It's a great environment, great learning environment, and the teachers are nice and really care.
Lucy has been phenomenal for me. She's, teaching me as an older student more songs, more by ear. She's introduced me to a lot of harpists in the area and how strong the harp community is.
They care about your child's advancement. They care about how they're doing. They care that they're enjoying the music. They're very supportive. It's not highly competitive. It's more of an environment where they want each child to succeed, not one succeed at the expense of another child. So it's been a very wonderful relationship for us.
I've had lots of difficulties before recitals. I've had breakdowns, I've had emotional breakdowns before recitals. And the director of Powers, Helen Clapp Stevenson, has come over personally to me and just made sure that I'm okay. Talked to me. I've been crying, I've been in tears, I admit it. And she comes over and makes sure I'm okay, makes sure I'm emotionally set to perform. And if I'm not, I don't have to. That sort of caring, that sort of empathy, you don't see in places that are much more competition-oriented.
Helen is a spectacular director, and I'm thrilled to have her here in Belmont developing the school, and I think she does a really wonderful job.
I think the best thing about Powers is its people. Literally, it's people. The fact that we have many students here that come from some diverse cultures, because we're lucky we have people that come from overseas, from various countries, people from, it's not just Belmont, we're really a regional music school, but really the passion and caring of not only of the faculty, but of the staff and all the volunteers, the board of directors. It truly is a community here where we all have really the one same goal, which is to try to create a warm and open and welcoming place, and I think we're doing it.
Each year, we bring the joy of music to thousands of people, and this year is special. It's Powers Music School's 50th anniversary. 50 years of music and 50 years of learning and sharing joy with the incredible people. Faculty, students, staff, board, volunteers, parents, audience members, donors, and you, who continue to inspire us. In 2013, we began an ambitious plan to raise $500,000 over 2 years. The 50th Legacy Campaign will keep our school thriving from small everyday tasks to ambitious new endeavors. But we need your help to reach our goal.
If anybody was ever wondering whether they should donate or not donate, I think that all they would have to do is look to the joy that they either see in their own students' faces when they're performing, or knowing that by making, say, a contribution to financial aid or whatever, that they really are making a difference in helping to keep music alive and well right here in the community.
I truly believe music education is an important part of our society.
You know, we're excited to be a part of this again, just because if you really look at what community would be like without access to music, what kids and adults would be like without the ability to express themselves, I think that'd be a great loss.
Our curriculum and community outreach programs bring out the best in our students, inspire them towards future success in whatever path they choose, and touch the lives of countless others. Each time you donate, volunteer, or attend an event, you are daring our students to spread their wings and reach their full potential. Your support shows them that they matter.
I really believe that music can be comforting, can be joyful, can be sorrowful, it can be so many things. And I think that's what makes me, music itself, what makes me so passionate about being a nonprofit director in an arts organization, is that I see the joy that I receive when I'm sitting as an audience member and listening to a performance. And I come away from that saying, I want to help make sure in some small way that someone else can experience that same joy that I feel. So I can't imagine, it would be a very sad world without music.
So what would life be for me without music? Well, I wouldn't be a human. Because, you know, even if children don't grow up to be performers, we can grow up to be educated listeners, and we can grow up to be discerning listeners, and we can grow up to be appreciative audiences, and we can learn what makes great music great.
Learning music at Powers has given me that ability to understand music and, you know, appreciate it to a better level than if I hadn't come here.
Music is the most central part of my life and my being. Without it, I wouldn't be here.
At Powers, we are a family, and together we make a difference to our community and to each other.